Welcome to another great time on Quest Television and Quest 93.1 FM. It's indeed our Quest today, and the better way for us to start it is to tell you that definitely things will make sense as the year comes to an end. But anyway, I need to welcome you. My name is Michael Gobadia, and it's going to be a real bumper package looking at all that will take place from now till later around, we'll extend it all the way to 10:30. Well, you do know it's the paper review that will always kickstart things right here on Quest today. And for review today, we have 5 papers. We have The Punch, The Guardian, and definitely The Vanguard is here. We'll trust ourselves with Daily Trust as much as we'll also love to take The Nigerian Tribune. But you do know I'll not be taking it alone. I have no other one but my very own colleague, Orikemi Miriam, and also, well, the soon-to-be ordained Bishop, Comrade F.L. Good morning, guys.
Come here,
I have reasons for introducing you like that. Well, no, don't drop my heart. That thing we talked about. Okay, okay, she won't talk. But anyway, as much as we would love to know, let's see what seems to be on the front dailies and the pages of the dailies. Let's trust ourselves with Daily Trust as the first paper to take and see what seems to be making the rounds there. The leading story of the Daily Trust: Kaduna killings not a mistake. I didn't say so, but Gumi. And right as to that says, Army attack against Air Force advice, according to sources. Officers grumble over lack of synergy between services, and we've learned our lessons. Our operation remain joint, says Defense Headquarters, and Tinubu vows to punish anyone found culpable. Well, anyway, I'll just tell you to find more gist on that on page 4 of the Daily Trust. Civil Defense yet to produce Media Trust Radio Tower. Sheets indicted operatives, and you can get that story on page 3. And a gunman kidnapped Nassau Varsity student. A sad one you can also get on page 23. But what you get on page 15, excitement as $20 billion Dangote refinery receive crude oil. Hallelujah. But would that be a gain for us? I don't know, but get that story on page 20. Well, more than 80% of Gaza's population displaced is a very scary one on page 5. And PDP backtracks from coalition with NMPP and SDP and others. And that story is making the rounds on page 18. Okay, Shiroro hydroelectric power dam under threat by bandits, it says general manager on page 3. And ASU kicks against inclusion of tech fund in annual budget, and what their reasons you can get on page 6. But the picture of the day is the visit of no other but the Vice President Kashim Shettima yesterday at those that were really injured during that unfortunate incident that played out on Sunday. That's the much we can take from the Daily Trust.
Okay, well, the next paper for review will be the Nigerian Tribune. And on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, the major headline is talking about the Kaduna drone strike. As it says, the guilty will be punished, President Tinubu vows. The writer there says Tudunbiri community will be rebuilt under Fulako initiative. And the Defense Headquarters statement unnecessary, says the ACF. More details on that on page 2. Moving above the masthead, Dangote Refinery receives first crude shipment from Agbami, set to commence production. Can I get an hallelujah for that?
Well, anyway.
Yes, more details on that on page 6. Prison spends 750 naira to feed inmates and 800 naira to feed dogs daily, Senate told. The writer there says Comptroller General proposes 3,000 naira daily for inmates. But more details on that on page 20.
Well, I'm wondering, is it just akara and pop they give them? 250 in the morning, 250 in the afternoon?
Even if it were akara and pap, it's still 750 a day, sir.
Yeah, so 250
so like bread and something. Bread and coke.
Well, bread is 300 now.
Oh, okay. Gari and sugar then.
Oh, okay,
let's move away from that. Let's move away from that.
3,000. Don't you think you would just go and try 3 months there?
No. I will take you along as much as we go.
You can just be going there now for force.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on, we have unending controversy on Kwara underpass, and besides that, we can see a picture. But get more details on that on page 19 of the Nigerian Tribune. Moving down, we have NJC recommends retirement of Osun High Court judge and declines Adele case 11 request on CJ. The writer there says set up panel to probe judicial officers. More details on that on page 11. Alleged failed abduction, file contempt proceedings against EFCC and DSS if, well, the reps community tells the Emefiele's lawyers. You can get more details on that on page 11 of the Nigerian Tribune. And also from Sanusi, it says President should not be petroleum minister. The writer there says, I was sacked for exposing corruption in NNPC, he says. Interesting one there, but you can get more details on that on page 7. And also tributes pour in as Kokori dies on 80th birthday.
Wow.
Yes, right there says give our dad accolades he deserves for his sacrifice for Nigeria, says his children. Get more details on that on page 8. Adelabu to rejoin APC next week. It's making it to page 11 as well. And the final headline on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune is talking about Edo forest gunfire attack. 3 NDLEA operatives injured, 1 undergoes brain surgery.
Wow.
Quite a gruesome one there, but get more details on that on page 26. And what for the picture of the day is that of the Vice President Keshi Shettima during his visits to victims of the Kaduna drone attack on Thursday. And that's what you can take on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune.
Well, the Punch will be the next paper for us to quickly look at. And on the Punch this morning, federal government vows to punish corporates as ACF demands GOC's removal. And we're still talking about the Kaduna bombing. Right after that says federal government promise to unveil causes of bombing, rebuild affected community, defense headquarters pleads, and cover accidental bombing with AI, a U.S. Arms Center tells military as Iowa Consultative Forum demands probe. But anyway, probe more on that on page 2. Some foreign airlines may quit Nigeria. IATA warns federal government on page 28. And Sanusi Carpets NNPCL doubts dollar remittance after subsidy removal. Ooh, more of it on page 29. Let's quickly take other stories. Tinubu Nupeng orders mourn as Kokori dies at 80. And I'll still remember during the Abacha era, the 94. Early... Wow, 94. Wow. And all that played out. Kokori still remains a titan because of that struggle. But anyway, tight more on that on page 27. I won't surrender my mandate to intimidation. I'm not saying that about Fubara as he continues with Wike, but anyway, I'm right here in the studio. MPA blames concession for $853 million, 1.8 billion naira revenue shortfall. And you can get that story on page 18, but a very disturbing one on page 4. Gunmen adopt 10 Nasarawa varsity students. And well, indeed not now. NUC sacks Osun judge, dismisses Adeleke's petition against CJ on page 14. And the picture of the day is no other but the African Man of the Year going to that of the director of Nixon Bank. And you can really understand who I'm talking about. And we're talking about Afri-Exim Bank. And we're talking about Professor Benedict Okay. He's the Forbes African Man, and that's the award he was given just recently. That's the much you can take from the Punch.
All right, the next paper for review is The Guardian. And on The Guardian, the major headline there is talking about female genital mutilation. As it says, government deters on painful initiation of women to womanhood. No, rather, government deters as painful initiation to womanhood flourishes. Yes, below that is a chart, and we can see the 13 states that have expressly prohibited female genital mutilation and all of that. But get more details on that on page 4 and 5 of The Guardian. Moving on, we have one-way local flights hits 200,000 naira ahead of festive travels. Yes, but you can get more details on that on the page 15 of The Guardian. 10 Lafayette University students kidnapped by gunmen is also making it down on the front page, but you can continue that story on page 8. And how President, as Petroleum Minister, stalled 11 trillion naira subsidy probe. There's a huge one there on the front page of The Guardian. But you can get more details on that on page 3. Tinubu, Oboriwori, Gbagie and others mourn Kokori is making it to the front page of The Guardian as well. But you can get more on that on page 29. And again, queues resurface as banks as customers battle cash scarcity. More details on that on page 6. Still keeping it real on page 6 on the front page of The Guardian. More pressure on industries and businesses over 952 naira per dollar exchange rate for imports. Yes, and well, I think that's much we can take on the front page of The Guardian newspaper.
The Vanguard will be the last paper for us to quickly look at, and to quickly do that, we will be 100% sure before bombing targets. This is according to the Kaduna error, and the defense headquarters is screaming out that loud. But a lot of kickers or riders to that, but I implore you to take more of that on page 5. Okay, Kokori pro-democracy icon dies at 80 as Tinubu Oboriwori Nupeng mourns on page 2. Failed adoption, sue EFCC DSS, reps committee tells MFLA lawyers, and I can hear somebody say, well, it looks as if the Red Bible has finally helped him out. Okay, Benway, shortest route to hell. We're talking about the Makodio to Pole Road, and wow, how that is. Just go grab a copy and get page 14 of the Vanguard. The federal government increases import duty rate by 22.24%, third time in 1 year. Would that be good for the economy? I don't know. But grab a copy of the Vanguard on page 26 has that story. I will not distance myself from taking more, but PDP distance self from merger talks. It's a major one on page 3 of the Vanguard. LCCI, NECA lament exit of P&G and others, and more days of lamentation on page 19. But what is getting me excited on page 30? 2023 CAF Award, Osibe battles with Salah, Hakimi for Player of the Year, and I'm quite sure we will be playing ourselves into glory. Uneasy calm in police over new posting. Well, now I understand why my neighbor was not smiling the day before yesterday, but page 9 seems to have more of that story. And federal government votes 504.856 billion naira for federal roads nationwide. And I'll be asking Commander Domo, this the Uzoro Road, the national one, but then
I think it's included.
Okay, Abuja Lagos Superhighway, Lagos Port Harcourt Coastal Road to take off. Domo, sorry to disappoint you, it seems not to be here.
I fly by air now.
Okay, but anyways, picture of the day is that of no other person but Benedict Okey, taking the man of the year from Forbes. But let's quickly take what I enjoy doing every lovely Friday, Mr. and Mrs. Vanguard Special Interest. Well, as usual, women always have the first talk. Honey, please get me some onion on your way back. And what does that make me? Mr. is asking. A man who knows his onions. Wow. I love women when...
Especially now that onions seem to have taken a leave.
Yes.
You know, for the year.
I like women when they praise you and put you into trouble.
When they are praising you, are looking at this out of the pocket.
Yes, yeah. But anyway, that's the much you can take there. But we need to quickly go to the lines, get those reactions, get those calls as we try to look at it. And well, we'll definitely be coming to Comrade Domo later. But quickly, let's see if we take the calls. The numbers are already there on your screen in case you're watching us on the TV. And interestingly, you listen to us, 08022931931, or you can reach us on 081-888-88931. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning. Christian, calling from Kokori Inland.
Christian, all the way from Kokori Inland. Please go ahead.
How are you, Mike?
Well, I'm doing great, and you?
Very good, me. I'm okay.
Okay.
Yes, I think I just want to say condolences to the family of late Frank Kokori.
Frank Kokori.
And I pray God to grant the family, the gratitude to get this kind of irreparable loss.
Yeah, you're
That's
right.
my contribution. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. And, well, it's a great loss to Deltons and, well, also to the labor force, as he was more of an icon during his time. But anyway, it's still time for us to take more calls. Hello, good morning to you. Hello?
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, this is Henry from Mosuka.
Henry from Mosuka, I hope all is well. Your voice seems to be a bit down.
Yes, it's good, sir.
Oh, well, sorry about that.
Attachments at Dangote refinery received crude oil. we pray that this is the beginning of a new thing to us, and we look at that those model signs that are not being encouraged, they should be given a good tool so that can have availability of the fine crude oil.
Okay.
Then again, president should not be president, minister of petroleum. And PCN should be proved. Sanusi. It's a very good point. This practice was started by Obasanjo.
Okay.
Copied,
and follow through.
Even during the prayer, they were in the position. There was no improvement in that area. So it should be stopped. We are like to be said. We pray that the family of Kokori should have the data to get the loss. Have a good day.
Well, thank you so much, Henry, all the way from Masuda, a regular and someone which I would appreciate every time he calls them. Hello, good morning to you. Hello. Okay, let's see.
Hello, good morning, sir.
We'll truly wrap things up. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning to you. Your name and where are you calling us from?
Hello, good morning, sir. This is Mr. Precious, sir.
Oh, Mr. Precious.
Sorry,
Precious,
sir,
thanks for joining us. Go ahead.
I must say, a special farewell to our labor leader, Frank Kokori, who dies at 80. My answer is that the labor leader in this country should copy from Frank Kokori. Frank Kokori fight his fight during the military era. Now our labor leader, we don't know what they are doing. This is civilian area. They should be able to fight for the masses, fight for the workers of Nigeria. That's my take this morning. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We are still taking calls here on the newspaper review on Quest today. And the numbers are still the same, 081 88 888 931 and 0022 931 931. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Ed from Ughelli.
Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Welcome. Your name
Good
and your
morning.
location, please.
Yeah, Ed from Ughelli.
Okay, please have your say.
The federal government raising import duty. On whose benefit is that? The masses are already suffering, dying in droves, and they want to increase import duties in order for cost of materials to get higher. I think this government is focusless because we don't so know the direction they are taking us to. They are driving us backward from the position we were before. It's unfortunate that this government is inept. That's my truth.
Well, thank you so much for having your take. And I feel that's the last call we can take on the show.
Point, yeah.
Quite unfortunate for us to do that. But, well, anyway, you do know how time is never a friend, especially when we're having this excitement. But the exciting thing is that we'll be walking through to the big story next. But we can't do that without really thanking Comrade Efodomo. On the mind will not have more of your views, and you were just at the backside reeling through some of the headlines. And one I know that really caught your fancy is the death of no other but Frank Kokori. And we right here on Quest Television and Radio and would really send our heartfelt condolence to the family of Frank Kokori. We just wish you can really, the family should be at the loss, a great loss, not just to them, but to all Deltans and Nigeria as a whole. Please take our condolence. Yeah. But anyway, that's what you can take, and I'll need to thank both of them. But remember...
so do not touch that dial. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back.